right. Thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of the No Script Podcast. Today, I got a awesome guest here with me, my guy. I don't really think he needs an introduction. As clean as he looks today, you know what I'm saying. He looks like he's ready for business, ready to go. My guy Jonathan Cubit, the meteorologist, the man himself. I got a question for you. How do you feel about people that call you like weatherman opposed to meteorologist? And the reason why I ask that is it's almost like calling somebody a basketball player opposed to like an NBA player. Like if somebody says, "Oh, he just played basketball," it's like, "Motherfucker, I'm in the NBA." People in the park play basketball. I'm in the NBA. How do you feel about that?
I don't really mind it too much. I just say, if you're gonna call me weatherman, just put Cube at the end, weatherman Cube. Otherwise, meteorologist Jonathan
Okay,
Cubit. Either or works with me. But now, it's
I
not a
like
big
it.
deal.
That's what's up, man. You looking real clean today, man. Is this your normal get up when you go and do your thing on your show and you looking real clean, man?
Yeah, man, I try my best. I gotta represent, for the downstate area. They like me up here in Buffalo, so I'm just trying to keep things going that way.
Has it been a culture shock for you, like going from Westchester, New York, and Greenburgh, going up to Buffalo? I know it's a little bit colder over there. Has it been a culture shock? I mean, it's still in New York. It's just farther upstate.
It's had its differences. I guess, when I went away to school, I went upstate to Albany. Albany and just, the people who went to school with were still down from the tri-state area in the city. I guess my time up there could maybe see it as a transition because it had a little bit of balance. Buffalo has a little bit of balance of both. So it really wasn't so much of a culture shock. It's still a little bit back home up here and still of what I dealt with, certainly weather-wise, when it comes to that cold and snow. Granted, it's a little bit more up here. It's a lot chillier, a lot colder, a lot more snow than Albany, but it's been pretty doable. Again, because I've lived in that kind of climate before.
I got you. I feel like you're putting your PC voice on me off me right now, man. I'm gonna let you rock out though. I hear the PC voice in it though, man. You ain't got to be that way with me and my audience, man. This is
My
it's a
bad,
cool,
my
down to
bad.
earth urban media platform. I just want you to feel at home and feel comfortable, man. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Okay.
Yo, how are you holding up through the time of COVID though? Like, how are you feeling?
COVID's been going good, Thank God, Jehovah, for that. My family and friends have, for the most part, have been healthy. Of course, I know people who have, been affected by it and unfortunately have lost their lives to it. But things have been good. Job wise, not a lot has changed for me. I got to experience working from home for a good period of time. Um, that is amazing. I'm very jealous of those who do that, full
Yeah.
time. And it's a luxury to say. But I've been good, just staying healthy, following the rules of, making sure you wash your hands and wear the mask and stuff like that over the past year or so. But as we see, masks off, things are getting better. We're back on the up. So that's good news.
Definitely, man. For those who are just now starting to wash their hands, man, you guys are disgusting. You should have been washing your hands all along. Not talking to you, of course. I'm just talking to everyday people, man. If it took for COVID to come across you to wash your hands when you leave the bathroom, something is wrong with you. You were not raised properly. I just want you guys to know that. That's
Bro,
crazy,
to
man.
this day, I still see people like
That don't wash
gotta
their hands. Oh
I take
my
the double take,
God.
like, yo, when they left the bathroom, like, yo, wait, you forgot. You supposed to, you missed the spot, you missed the step.
Yo, nothing irks me more than watching somebody that go like I come in the bathroom, they just finish and they like rub their face or something, just walk right out. Nothing irks me
Yeah,
more. I'm like, bro, I gotta touch the same groceries as you. I gotta do all these things. I don't know where you're at and what you touched. It makes me so angry, bro.
bro,
I'm like,
at
just
least
wash your
show.
hands.
You know what I'm saying?
Put
Like,
water on them at least, bro. Come on.
at least something.
That's crazy. Are you getting vaccinated?
Soon, yeah. As I DJ as well, if you didn't know, DJ Cube. But a lot of venues and stuff, they're actually, you got to have a vaccination or show that you've had a negative test. Um, I plan to go to concerts and football games and hockey games and baseball games in the future. So vaccination is definitely coming up soon. It's just for me, first starting out, it's just I really when the shortage and things like that in the beginning, I just really wanted to make sure those who needed it could get it, and stuff like that. But now, it's easy. Now they're talking about coming to your crib and pop pop, you good to go. So
You
I'm
sound
gonna
like
take care of that soon.
you sound like a very responsible young man, man. I like that, man. I like you got a good head on your shoulders, man. You know what I mean? If I ever was about to make a wrong decision, like drink and drive or something, I will call you and be like, "Yo, Q, man, am I making the right decision?" You be like the angel on my shoulders, man. I feel it.
I got you always.
Yo, for me, I just got my first vaccination shot. So of course I plan on getting the second one. I think that it's important for us to try to get back to the norm, and not only that, but I got a wife, I got a baby on the way. The last thing I want to do is put my family.
Congratulations
Yeah,
to
thank
that.
you. Thank you, man. But the last thing I want to do is just put my family in jeopardy. The most important thing I look at it is not thinking about me and what I, you know what I mean, what I want and what I need. It's about putting the family first. So for me, it's like whatever I have to do, whether it's a sacrifice or something I may not quote unquote want to do, it's something I have to do. You know what I mean? So that's how I'm looking at it. I'm looking at it like a bigger picture than just me. Even outside, you know what I mean? I don't want to get somebody else's family sick because I was just reluctant to do something that, you know, maybe could have helped.
Right. So there it is. You are a responsible young man yourself. Give it up for that.
Yo, listen, man, I'm working on it, man. I'm working on it. I'm a everyday progress kind of guy, man. That's me, man. Every single day I'm working towards new steps to become a good guy, man. I'm not there yet though, man. I'm not there yet. I'm not like you, man. You know what I mean? You probably walk old ladies across the street and do all kind of cool stuff. I'm not there yet, man.
One day at a time.
Yo, so talk about growing up in the 914 in the 90s, man. What are some of the things that you remember just growing up, as far as just some things that stick out to you, but not only stick out to you, but kind of like mold you to who you are today?
It was funny, like growing up, I lived in Yonkers for a little bit in Terrytown, Sleepy Hollow, and then I came over to Greenburgh. That's where I really, remember third grade and graduate in high school, Woodlands, the good times. But it was, I liked it. I enjoyed it. I think where we grew up and where we lived, 914 was being very diverse. At least the high school we went to, just that whole area is sort of a melting pot. And some places across the country really don't get to see that. They just see, maybe just that one race or that one culture or one thing. I think it's very privileged for us to really be raised and where we were raised and where we were brought up. The community growing up was, amazing. It was dope. I worked as a camp counselor for several summers, so I get to know the community, the kids. It's just crazy to see some of the campers, grown now. Like it's just like wow. And then social media just keeps everybody connected. That's one thing. Of course, when we were in high school or even middle school, you're not thinking of it, but you're still talking and still connected to those people 10, 20 years later.
Crazy.
And I think I just, I really am happy with where I was raised and where I grew up. I think, Westchester and Greenburgh's especially was, it's a spot, man, for real.
I feel like one of the main things that I hear people speak about when I ask them about our area where we were raised at, just a 914 area, especially if you were like in Greenburgh or White Plains or Elmsford or Terrytown, it's the diversity. It's the mix of nationalities and everybody getting together at a young age. I think that's very important to be able to experience that mix because it makes you understand just other people's point of views. It makes you understand just cultures and friendship, and that you don't have to be friends or be in a circle around people that look exactly like you. It's good to just expand and understand different people's point of view, especially in the time we live in where like the US is the biggest melting pot ever, probably even bigger than it was in the 90s. It's probably bigger than right now. You know what I mean? So I think that's very important. And I want my child to be raised in that kind of environment as well. Just a melting pot of all nationalities, understanding that everybody's not going to look like you, but you got to give them that utmost respect.
That's true. That's very true.
So do you think that it is ironic, the amount of talent that is coming out of the 914, especially in a group of friends and the people that we know? I think it's kind of crazy. I've already had like 7 or 8 guests just as far as people I know that are all just different talents. It's crazy.
Yeah, it is. And I think, like you said, Greenburgh really isn't all that big. Or even if you think of the entire Westchester with White Plains and Elmsford, Yonkers, Mount Vernon, all that. And then also to the fact we are close to the city, which kind of helps too. We could still mingle and meet a lot more people. But again, it just goes back to being privileged to where, we were born and raised. And it is pretty amazing to see all of the talent that came out here. And then we had, Sean Kilpatrick, who plays ball. Not need to mention him. You got Donovan Mitchell, who's out here playing ball. You know what I'm saying? Just, it's just amazing. You know what I'm saying? On all spectrums, whether it's sports, whether it's, rapping. We see, shout out to Oakland and Johnny Prize. I know they had their little, versus thing on their Instagram, and
Yep.
at schoolhouse, something like that could actually explode to be a lot bigger. And that's just at the music scene, and then we got, I know, Baron Bass, and then Nick Cregan, who's on the acting scene. I went to college with Nick too, so it's just just knowing him for years, decades, and then just to seeing where he's going and stuff like that. It's really cool to just see a melting pot in that aspect of just different talent actually really succeeding to do so.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, a lot of people that you already spoke about. I haven't had Sean Kilpatrick or Donovan Mitchell on, but even like Nick and Barron, Oakland, some of the people that you spoke about, I've already had the privilege of having conversation with them, having them on a platform, and just understanding their story. I think that's very important. I feel like one of the reasons why I created a platform was simply because I felt like there were young children that were growing up in the same environment with the same mentality that we had, that are maybe just one step away from going either direction. You know what I mean? Either following their dreams or maybe going steering in the wrong direction. So what I wanted to do was just make a platform where it's like, hey, we're young individuals just like you, and we had a dream and we made something happen. You know what I mean? And you can make it happen too. I think that's very important for people to understand. And we're not that far from you. Might have been even in the same neighborhood as you. So it's really incredible.
100%. 100%.
So growing up, right, in Woodlands High School, the high school that you went to, what were your dreams and aspirations at that point in time? What were you looking to do? Like, what did you want to do? Were you thinking at that point in time you wanted to be a meteorologist, or was it something different?
Yeah, I kind of always was with the weather thing. I mean, just as a little kid, I had mentioned, I grew up a couple years. I went to school in Sleepy Hollow, and where we live, we could look up. I could look up the street to elementary school, I think at the time or whatever. But when it snowed, you could kind of see it's a nice. It's just when it snows, just pretty much anywhere. I love it. To me, that's just a beautiful, view or backdrop, depending on where you could see it. But where we were at the time, I could see up to the school, and then with snow and stuff like that. So watching the weather, it would say, if it's a snow day or something, I could look outside. Oh, yeah, we're gonna get a snow day. But there was times when the weather person would say that, and then we wouldn't get snow, and then I'd have to go to school, and I would just like understand why. You know what I'm saying? So from that point, it was just, I watched the Weather Channel a lot more just in my casual. Earth science just always ticked to me. Physics when I got to high school, just science in general. It wasn't until senior year of high school, Miss Barless is like my favorite teacher. She I did earth science with her too. My favorite teacher in Woodlands. She had a meteorology class, and I took it. I aced it, got an A. I loved it. That's when I was like, yo, I definitely want to stick with the meteorology thing. It wasn't until college I decided I want to go to the TV side to it, and just really stuck with that.
So there's a different side, which you'll probably get into later, but there's a different side between like a TV side and I guess the background side.
There's
Copy.
several different things you can do in the field of meteorology or atmospheric science.
Interesting. I do want to get in that, but I want to move on to it. I don't want to rush it. I don't want to jump
No,
the
I
ball
hear you.
just yet. So once you finished high school in Woodlands, you say you wanted to, you knew at that point in time you were interested in meteorology, and then you said that you attended the University of Albany. So why Albany for you? Like, did you have other offers, or did you already feel like Albany was the school that can give you the best education in the direction that you wanted?
It was more so money. My first choice
Okay.
was Penn State. Like my mom loved it to death. I remember we drove out there 3 hours, which wasn't bad, But at the time, when you drive out, if you ever driven out to Pennsylvania, it's the sticks through most routes, so it's just
I
a
live there.
boring 3 hour drive. No offense.
I'm
No offense.
cool, and I don't live far from Penn State either. So that's cool, man.
Nah, but now once you get out there, like like it's lit. Like it's another, like it's a different kind of energy. So it's just the money. It's just very expensive being out of state on top of that. So I did 2 years at Westchester Community College, just to save money. It was a heck of a lot cheaper. I worked UPS at the time. They paid for tuition also. So that really helped. So but they had a college fair. And then that's when I discovered Albany. Because my jumping point from WCC would have been Stony Brook. So then when I went to the college fair, he was like, what do you like to do? Just talking to me for a couple of minutes, just, trying to, he's like, look, the person you are, you're not going to have fun at Stony Brook. And no offense to anybody who went to Stony Brook. He was just like, it's more like you're going to have fun in Albany, like just your vibe and stuff like that. And he was right. Not to say that I don't know how Stony Brook gets down, but I was happy with my decision going to Albany. You know what I'm saying? It was a nice balance. It was 2 hours away from home. Most importantly, the program there was awesome. You know what I mean? From there, they actually had a TV station on campus. It was ATV Club. when I was actually looking at the videos when I was doing the weather up there for like the campus. So like if you had a TV in your dorm, they had an ATV station. And Nick was there too. Nick actually did ATV also. He did a I think it was like a little skit show or whatever. But they had different shows that different students did. So I did the weather with a group of kids, and weather was trash. It was just terrible. I was looking at my weather. I was like that. It was bad. So anyway, that's when I decided I was just like, I want to go to the TV side to it. I think I can make this happen. And then just talking to different advisors, and I did a internship at News 12 with a dude Bryson Van Eck, who I think teaches now. That's another part of the story I can talk about later. But he was just teaching me. This is at News 12 and stuff, and I was just interning, talking to different teachers, professors. I was actually emailing different meteorologists on TV, who none of them got back to me, which is cool. I'm sure they get 100 emails, but that was just it. Just reaching out, talking to different people in at colleges and different other ones in the industry. So.
Got you. I got you. So pretty much you saying if you went to Stony Brook, you're probably a lame. That's what pretty much what you
Not at all.
That's crazy, man. Nah, Albany, I heard, I've never been up there, but I got a couple of friends that used to party up there. And they say Albany was definitely some lit time. So I could imagine.
Yeah.
I can only imagine. And then I know you touched on like just the DJing aspect. DJ Cubit is the name. I was gonna touch on that as well. So for you, how did DJing come about for you? Like, when did you realize that you wanted to become a DJ or even get into DJing? You know what I mean?
I kind of always wanted to do it. I just didn't think I could, just because, I knew with going into my industry, the timing of stuff, but shout out to my guy Saleh. He was a barber on campus. Omari, he was my roommate. We went to school together too, like since like third grade. But he had plugged me in because again, when I was transferring, so when I was getting up there, Kyle, who I went to high school with, my friend Omari, they were all plugged me in. So anyway, he plugged me into Saleh. He was our barber. So I remember one day he was just asking me, he said, "What's a good way to make some good money?" It's hard when you're in school and you got studies and X, Y, and Z, whatever. You know the story. So he was just like, "Yo, would you DJ?" I was like, "Yeah, I kind of always wanted to. I just didn't again." And then having the money to invest and buy the equipment and stuff like that. I had a laptop, so. He was just like, "All right, bet I'm gonna get you the equipment. We're gonna throw some parties." I was like, "All right, whatever." Yo, it's like 2 days later. He's like, "Yo, come to my dorm room." He had a mixer for me, and then I was just like, "Yo, what?" He's like, "Yo, take the mixer, go practice." Da 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 da. And then so what happened was I just went back to my dorm room. I think I was up to like 3 a.m. for like a week straight, just downloading music, just practicing or whatever. I was studying. Like I had a set time. This is my study time. And like, all right, so I was up to like 3 a.m. a lot or whatever. So I was just downloading music, practice or whatever. So what he was doing, he was setting me up with like little parties and stuff through his fraternity. My first big party was like in a little basement of one of his frat houses or whatever. And it was a daylight savings time. So what happened was this like 1 o'clock hit and then 1 o'clock hit again. So it was just like a long party. I was on my feet for like 7 hours. But it was a couple of those kind of parties that really got me really into it. And all right, I'm pretty decent at this. I can, do something with it. So shout out to him. I just did different events until I paid him off. When he got married, I was just like, "Yo, bro, just let me know I'm there. I got you. I'm not going to charge you." You know what I'm saying? Like, he's the reason why, I think he had a baby shower for his, wife and stuff. I say whenever he needs something, I got him. Because if it weren't for him, I might not be DJ Q. So, after like school, it took me a different time to like another year or so to get my name up back home, because it was just, I was about to quit. I was like, I can't get gigs or anything. So I did a big wedding for one of my friends, and then my name just kind of, finally circulated, and I was just doing different stuff and just, kind of, doing my thing with it. So now I do mainly weddings. They're a lot more fun most of the time. And one thing I do regret is like when this COVID stuff hit, because I might have did 1 or 2 weddings since COVID started, like last March. I wish I had did the Zoom thing and stuff like that. There's a lot going on, but I'm still DJing, man. You know what I'm saying? Don't get it twisted. I still do the weather, but I still, I got a couple weddings coming up. And, now that things are getting better, I'm getting back on it and stuff like that. But no, I truly enjoy it, and I still keep up with it.
That's dope, man. My man DJ Cube out here getting on the ones and twos, man. For me, I feel like perseverance is huge, man. I hear that in a lot of different stories, man. I want to tell people that listen, man, to never give up on what it is you want to do, man. I know it's going to sometimes it's an uphill battle. Things happen. It may not come when you want it to come, but it's always going to come on time, man. You got to keep that in mind. Like, don't give up on what you want to do. And so I like the fact that you said it's something that you thought about giving up on, but you got the gig and opportunity that came at the right time the way you kept on going, man. So that's definitely important.
Bro, it was the same way with the weather, because a quick background with, if you're getting into the TV, if you're watching this and you're maybe deciding to get into the news, I'm not going to say TV, but news. A lot of times once you finish school, you got to sometimes go to a smaller market. Smaller market means, somewhere you probably never heard of, or a small town. And you're just going to be out there for maybe 2 to 3 years, and you kind of got to work yourself up to the big ones. I was blessed to start out here in New York, which is considered the #1 market out of like 250 in the entire country. And from there, again, I almost was like, yo, do I still want to do this? I was working behind the scenes. I was doing captioning. I was doing transmissions, as far as like making sure stuff gets looked over, and making sure it was good for air, like little tedious stuff. But then there was stuff that needed to be done, kind of thing. I was doing that for like half a decade, like 5 years, before I was like, oh, yo, we need a weatherman for the weekends. Oh, you got a demo tape? Let's see what you got. Yo, I had like they were like, when I applied to the station that I was actually working at already, they was like, oh, well, we're gonna need a updated resume and a weather clip. So when you usually, whether it's TV, sports, or weather, there's your regular resume that you usually give to the place that you want to work at, and then you have to have a reel. And what a reel is just clips of you doing what you're doing. If you're a reporter, you're out in the field doing different stories, and it's just a monologue of that for like 3 to 5 minutes. Same thing with the weather. So when I went to HR and they was like, yo, we need XYZ, I was like, all right, bet. I went back to my thing, emailed them. They were right there 30 seconds later. So then I think it was like the next couple of days, I just met with like the news director, the boss, and they was like, oh, we didn't know, this and that. So then there we are, 5 years later, finally, I'm doing weekend. And then not only that, after like maybe a year and a half of finally, getting into it, the station shut down. They competition with News 12. Everything's always about money. So we couldn't keep up in that department. So like hundreds of us lost our job. So what brought me up here to Buffalo was just, it was the closest job I could find with, still kind of close to home. So it's like, I say that just to say, like, there's going to be obstacles, and you just, decide if it's something that you really want to do, you just got to keep doing. Just, piggyback off of what you said as well.
Definitely, man. I mean, anything that's worth anything is going to be hard to obtain. You know what I mean? Anything that's easy, it's not really something that's going to be worth it on the end. It's not really a reward to it. So you definitely want to keep that in mind whenever you're trying to pursue something, whether it's music, whether it's acting, whether it's being in front of the camera like you're doing, whether it's anything that you decide to do. Just make sure that you stay on your path. Keep working hard, and when your time is ready to come, it'll definitely come. I feel like that's how the universe usually works. When it comes to DJing, what do you feel like is your favorite era to DJ and listen to?
Ooh,
I know, man. I'm gonna throw some hard ones at you, bro.
It's a balance. It's like I really have fun going back like the 90s, early 2000s, mixing that in. I did that a lot when I first started DJing, because I wasn't really good with maybe transitioning, or I didn't have the skill or experience. But what I could do is throw in a song that, oh, they're not thinking of, or like really digging in the crates, as they would say. So that was really my strong suit. When I was in school, I also had a radio station. Not like I was a DJ at the radio station, so that was where I also honed and practiced and stuff like that. And there you really weren't allowed to play a lot of top 40. So just again, maybe playing some old school. Even throwing in like underground artists at the time. I still to this day still want to do a 914 mix. Like I still need to hit up all them DJs like, yo, can I get some music? Or even if I gotta buy it, yo, where can I, and say I could like YouTube snippet, but I don't want to do it like that. I want to, give me the MP3. Jossie, who's, he's always sending me stuff, but I really want to get all their music and really maybe put a collab if they cool with it and stuff like that. Like that kind of music I really enjoy. When I really first started DJing, techno, EDM was really big. That's when that was considered the number one genre. I loved being DJing those like type of parties. It was, you know what I'm saying? Like it was just fun. Like it was easy to mix it and stuff. Reggae and island music, I'd love to mix that. It's just it's not, if I DJ 4 parties, one of them is that kind of crowd. So I don't get to do it as much, so I do love doing that. But definitely 90s, I guess early 90s, 2000. If I had to pick one, that would probably be my go-to sets.
I got you. Yo, so speaking of music, I just want to stay on here for a second. Who would you say is in your top 10?
Dang, top 10? Ooh.
Yeah.
I remember the first piece of music I ever bought was a Slick Rick CD. I can't give you like order, but Slick Rick is definitely one of them.
Got you.
Jay-Z, of course, Nas, J. Cole, going to college, like his music just like that was like it. Like that was the concept. He was just, exactly. So that was a really big time. Outkast 3000. Some of the dudes today. I'm a big Future fan. Music's terrible, I know. That's my guilty pleasure.
For myself personally, I'm not. I don't know. Maybe it's just not for me. I don't really get it. But I'm not mad at people who like it because you like what you like. Sometimes it's just sonically, it just sounds really good to you. So I'm not mad at it.
Yeah.
Future.
Where am I? 6? Ty Dolla $ign for sure. Chris Brown for sure.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Kanye, Travis. I mean, I'll say Kanye. I felt like he kind of stopped making music after Pablo, and like everything after Pablo is. But yeah, he was like, you know what I'm saying? You can't, regardless of his hotness, like he, as an artist, he did his thing.
Definitely.
If I need one more, Drake's definitely in there.
Okay. All right. I'm not mad at that at all, man. I'm not mad at that. I would have probably put Kendrick in there myself, but I ain't mad at that. I am not mad at it.
He ain't put that out like 10 years. I forgot about
Kendrick. Man. I'm hoping. Listen, if Kendrick is listening, man, I need a new project from you, man. I can't wait to hear from you, bro. I can't wait. I'm super excited, man. I can't wait for the new music to come. I know J. Cole about to drop too, man. You excited about that one?
Yeah, man. I am.
Midnight.
It's my little brother. Shout out to Baby Q Carlton. That's his favorite artist. But yeah, J. Cole. I am excited to hear. I haven't heard from him a lot. His freestyle, dropped recently. I was like, okay, this is the J. Cole I like. This is the J. Cole I discovered. You know what I mean?
That's a fact. It's funny because my little brother loves J. Cole. I think J. Cole is his favorite rapper as well. So I feel like it's that younger generation that's a little bit younger than us. That's like their Jay-Z almost. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they want to feel sophisticated. So yeah, J. Cole is my favorite.
Yeah, that's too. He put the air quotes on that. Like, y'all ain't doing shit yet. I totally get it, man. So I know you working at a news forum, Buffalo, as you said. How is the Buffalo winters treating you up there, man? I know I know they got to be brutal, man.
Ooh. So scientifically speaking, this had the last 2. I've been up here for 2 winters. They've been the top 10 mildest winters that we've seen.
Wow.
Snow-wise. But the one thing I will say that does bother me is just the cold lasts a little bit longer up here. Despite what weather patterns, come through, it's just like in June, I remember, was either last year or the year before, I was waking up to 40-degree weather. And I was just like, oh, man. But the trade-off is, hands down, top 5 best places to be in the summer, at least across the U.S. Top 5. Why you say that? The weather is perfect. You don't got to deal with that humidity. There's a lot of water around. So if like you're into boating, kayaking, that kind of stuff, outdoor activity, there is a lot of stuff to do, like from breweries to wineries, jet skiing, all that good stuff. There's a lot of in the summertime they shut down some of the streets. So you know how Mamaroneck Ave is, and sometimes they'll shut down Mamaroneck Ave back in White Plains. It's similar up here in Buffalo. They'll shut down like some of the streets. So it's a lot of outdoor eating and drinking. There's a lot of festivals and things like that. So if you want to get into trouble, you want to just have something to do, you can, definitely do something, but as far as the winters go, snow gets crazy. Like April, we had a record. I think it was April, forgot the day, but I think we got like 4, 5, 6 inches. I think at the airport, like mid-April. It's crazy. Christmas Day, I think we saw over 20 inches in one day. At the airport. So yeah, you'll get hit like that briefly for some spots through Buffalo.
Wow, that's crazy, man. How does that work as far as excuse me, as far as having like a day where it's like over 20 inches, somebody's got to be able to relay that information. How does that work? Like if somebody's stuck and they can't get to the station, you're a meteorologist, your job is to tell the weather. How does that really work? Is that something you got to do virtually? How does that work?
So they tell you up front, like usually before COVID, even at my older station, they usually news stations, they have hotels like really like, very close within proximity. So usually they'll just get you a hotel and they'll have a shuttle bus that will take you right to the station. This past one, I actually had to sleep over at the station one night, just because I had to do a night shift and then the next morning shift. And I live about 15 minutes from the station. Granted, the drive is smooth, but where I'm at, if they didn't shovel, then I'm stuck. And then what happens? You know what I'm saying? So, um, yeah, usually a hotel is an option. That's how it works usually in the industry. Otherwise, yeah, you got to set up a cot. Depending on where you at, maybe they got a bed. I had to put like two. They were two big, comfortable chairs, but I put them together through a blanket and a pillow, and I had to crash for a couple hours. So yeah, sometimes you got to stay in the station or at the station, whenever you're doing severe weather coverage.
That sounds like hard work and dedication, man. You have to pay me double time for that though. If I'm sleeping on two chairs, man, I'm expecting double time from my
Yeah,
from
man,
all
they,
my
they,
time
they,
there.
they take care of you, you know what I mean?
That's what's up. I'm not mad at. Have you had the opportunity to run into the Griselda squad at all up there in
Nah, not
Buffalo?
yet.
They the
You know
hottest
me.
thing smoking, man.
Yo, they are, but they got to take their precaution with COVID, so they're not out and about too crazy. Yo, shout out to them because I know they opened up like a Buffalo Kids shop over at their Galleria. When I was a little kid,
Mm,
remember Galleria in White Plains? I
hell
used to
yeah.
think that was the only Galleria, but
Me
then I was
too.
like, oh
We
nah,
ignorant.
there's
We ignorant.
yeah. So they got a gallery up here anyway. So they opened up a shop up there, but I think they're going on tour or whatever and doing their other stuff. But not yet. I know when COVID, really gets, back, things get back to normal and stuff. I know they can do a lot more around the community. I may get a chance
Definitely,
to check
man.
them out.
That's dope. I did not know they got their. You said they got their own store in the Galleria.
Yeah, so I think what they sell is like I guess collectibles like toys or like figurines and stuff like that. And I think they sell maybe backpacks, just different items and stuff like that. But I like, what I didn't know too much about them until when I got the job offer from Buffalo. One of my coworkers, when I was still working at my old station, he had put me on. He said, "Oh, you're going up there with the Griselda boys." I'm like, "Huh? I didn't know." He's like, "Benny the Butcher." I was like, "I heard of him." Like, but then it really got me in tune, them and their music, and they do a lot for the community. So I like shout out to them. They good people. I still ain't never get a chance to meet them. I know they function a little bit with our news station and stuff, but they good people.
That's dope, man. Shout out to him, man. I feel like that's the plan. That's the goal. That should be the objective. Whenever you get an opportunity to excel in life, you should always give back, man. So
Oh
that's
yeah, for
very
sure.
huge. I'm not saying you have to give back. I'm saying you should give back. So I don't
Yeah.
knock the people who don't because everybody's situation and mentality is different and things like that. But I feel like it's
Mhm.
very important when you're in a position to where you winning and you're accumulating more than you can use for yourself and your family immediately. Definitely give back. And the kids that's the easiest way to give back. Book bags,
Yeah.
clothing, just things like that to help families that may be a little misfortunate not have as much as you. Because I mean, we all been in a position where shoot, mom or dad, they may not have it for that Christmas or that holiday, that birthday. For real, man. So it's definitely important to keep yourself humble and always give back. I think that's one of the most important things we
hmm
all have to do, especially being like I said, in that position. So shout out to them for
hmm
that. That's
Yeah, big
incredible.
time, big time.
So I happened to read an article. I do my research here, man, on the No Script podcast, man. And I happened to read an article, and it was called the BABJ, the Buffalo Association of Black Journalists, man. And they talked about yourself, and they had a young lady named Joss Williams, and she was like
Chill.
a
Don't
morning.
say Joss, because if she sees it, she
I'm
is gonna
sorry.
be tight.
How do you say her name? I apologize.
Jazz. Name is
Jazz.
Jazz.
Jazz, Miss Jazz. I'm so sorry. I didn't know they didn't put like a pronunciation on there. So Jazz, I'm so sorry. I saw that she's a morning traffic anchor. They had Eric Frazier and Ashley Holder. They're like sports
hmm
anchors, and they had some other
hmm
names as well. Man, what does that mean to you? Just hearing the Association of Black Journalists and what that brings as far as to Buffalo.
It's really dope. They have a really good, solid group of people. They really do fight for the reporters and such. But a couple of them who I had met when I first got to Buffalo about a year and a half ago, they had actually moved on to bigger and better things. at other stations outside of Buffalo. But just it was good to, of course, it's good to see some more color on TV.
Mm.
It's like as like we'll get emails sometime from viewers, and like some of it is just like, it's just like it kind of touches you. Like, wow, it was like, oh, it's good to see a nice brother, on TV for something else other than the wrong thing. And it's just when you get that randomly, it feels good. So when we were part of that, and they showed that, and again, it's good to see the diversity. It's just good to see more diversity being brought into Buffalo, and certainly in a field where you really didn't see it too much at first, growing up, whether it be just us not wanting to do that. But again, you're seeing more opportunity being brought in. Shout out to our news director. She's really big on wanting to bring in diversity, whether it's different, race or ethnicity or gender or what have you. But yeah, again, I didn't know what to expect when I got up here, but it's good to see a mix.
I mean, it seems like they treat you well, and they definitely made it an emphasis to include, black journalists. I think that's long overdue in a lot of different places, but definitely shout out to them. That's huge. That's important, and I hope a lot of other, news stations and news channels and those formats, they follow that formula and making that something that is the quote unquote norm. Like you said, we don't really see a lot of those black faces in front of us when we're watching the news or looking at the weather or any form of anything that's presented on the news. I don't really
And you
watch
get a
the news.
different flavor, a different point of view, a different aspect when you get different, people from different parts of the country or different parts of the world, bringing in their point of view and stuff like that. And you just get a different flair, specifically when it comes to news storytelling. Like I'm gonna tell a story different from the way she will tell it or the way he will tell the weather. So, that helps viewers too. It brings in more people. Like, oh, I didn't know. Like, imagine, a black kid sees me on TV. Oh, I didn't know I could do that. It just gives them another option. You know what I'm saying? Or, oh, you know what I'm saying? So I think that's also was another, plus side to it too, I guess, as you're starting to see with this industry.
Definitely, I think that's important, man. Do you get a lot of comparisons to Al Roker? Because I feel like that's the only black man I remember seeing on news at one point in time, and I think he was a weatherman, if I'm not mistaken. That's the only man that I know
Yeah.
of is Al Roker.
Well, not as much as Michael Strahan, but yeah, I get Al Roker every now and then.
Yo, that's too funny.
Man, but yeah, I mean, I've watched him growing up. I will say Lonnie Quinn, if you're, down in the city or Westchester, you see he's on Channel 2. I watch him a lot. One thing, at least with my industry, what I've learned, it's more so than the science, but being able to, have some choreography or bring in some kind of excitement to the way that you're telling the story. Like, oh, it's going to be 60 degrees and sunny tomorrow. Yo, do not forget your shades. You may want to throw on a t-shirt, forget the light jacket at home. You're going to be seeing temperatures well into the 60s. You know what I'm saying? To say it more like that, you turning your head, oh, what's going on TV? Oh, let me stay in tune for that 10 to 15 seconds more. So when I look at, Lonnie Quinn, for example, Al Roker is good. He's good. But I just look at maybe acting side to it or just the storytelling when it comes to, their 15 seconds to 3 minutes on TV. But yeah, those are my top two. I watch Lonnie Quinn more because I see him more telling the weather every day. But Al Roker, I definitely watch, growing up, high school or college, more so.
Yep. Skinny, big to skinny. I remember it all, man. I remember the whole transition for him, man. Shout out to Al, man. I hope he's still doing your thing out there, living healthy, doing
Yeah,
good,
man, he's doing his
drinking
thing.
your smoothies and all that good old
Good
stuff,
morning,
man.
America, doing his thing. Yeah, like
I
it's more
respect
than
it,
just
man.
weather for him now. Yeah.
Yeah. I see he's on a big stage now. And I'm trying to get there, man. Al, if you're listening, man, I'm trying to get to where you at, man. Throw a brother a bone. Yo, so excuse me. Walk me through your first day as far as just recording on the set of your first time displaying the weather and just that transition, man. How was your first day? Were you nervous? Were you excited? Were you sweating? Did you fumble? How was that?
Yeah. The biggest challenge when you get there is it's a new area. Just pronouncing the cities, like the names, the towns. So practicing that. So you're nervous at first. When the light hits, because so when at the previous station I worked at, it was more of a record. So I would do my weather hit, and it would be like I'll do it at 4:30 for it to air at 5, for example. This is live, so you go. If you fumble, you got to just keep going. So with this, it was because of all the practice. It was like, all right, so I just do it that's in my head. I just do it like I've been doing. So that's what it was. But then you get flipped up on the different names and towns and stuff when you first start. But a regular day for a meteorologist, we come in. What I like to look at is the previous meteorologist forecast, because I don't want to say it's going to be 70 degrees if he's telling people it's going to be 50. But again, we come in, we look at, we have our various websites we'll look at that will show different models and forecast what we're expected to see. It's a little bit math and science that goes into it, that we learn in college. But from that, and then building graphics, the weather graphics that you'll see, sometimes they're a little tedious. It may take us 10, 15, 20 minutes to make a graphic that you're only going to see for 3 seconds. You know what I'm saying? So when you got to do 5 of those, it's going to take some time. So on an easy day like today, and now we're just looking at sunny, quiet conditions. I think it's down that way by y'all too over the next several days. It's not a lot. It's going to be a lot of the same forecast. So now that's when the job can get a little challenging. How can I talk about it being nice and sunny for 3.5 minutes? I can't keep saying it's going to be nice and sunny. So it's just like, oh, what can you do that is nice and sunny? Oh, gardeners, now's your time to get out there on your front lawn, plant them tulips and get things ready for the garden season. Motorcyclists, now's your time to really rev up the bike. So it's just little stuff like that that you just kind of be cognizant of and kind of maybe mention. And it's just conversation with people sometimes. Like, oh, I didn't think of that. Oh, the green is open. Let's go play some, it's a good day to go play golf. Oh, it's a good day to fish. Oh, it's free fishing day. You don't need a license to go fish. So if that's on the news, I could put that into the forecast. So then, it's just little stuff like that, just that you accumulate over time once you get to know an area and so forth. And then, from graphics to forecasting, maybe about 2.5, 3 hours. And then, all right, it's time to put makeup on, get yourself right, mic, put your earpiece in, and now it's time to go on camera. The way it works when you're in the studio, there's like really nobody in the studio. You got like one cameraman or floor director. You got the anchor that you'll see, and then you have me. You'll have people that will come in to tell their packages or their stories, and then you'll have the sports anchor, but they come in and they go. So you're like in this big room with a bunch of cameras with like you and like maybe 2 other people. But really, it's just you're getting your weather show set up. I got my graphics going. As I'm doing my research and building my graphics, I'm putting the story in my head. We're not looking at any there's a teleprompter, but there's nothing there. Like everything we do is ad lib. So a lot of reporters and stuff or the anchor, they're reading from a teleprompter. They go off a little bit to do their own thing. But for weather people, we have to, it's just all ad lib. But we put all of that in our head as we're building and doing our research and stuff like that. So
Wow.
That's a typical day. We do our forecasting, our researching or whatever. We'll build our graphics, and then, we got to get ready to go on camera.
Okay. It sounds like you got to have a lot of character, like, and be real charismatic when it comes to being a meteorologist or displaying the weather, because you can come off real dull to where it's like, man, I'm clicking the channel, man. I don't know what this dude talking about. He's
That's what
talking
it
about
is.
stuff.
It's ratings, man. And they're gonna,
Yeah.
and imagine like if I'm trash, but if like everybody else is good, we may survive. You know what I'm saying? But if I'm trash and he's trash and she's trash, I'm changing the channel. You know what I'm saying? Some people will tell you they watch channel 4 because of so and so. They watch channel 7 because of so and so. Just one
True.
person. Or they
True.
may
It's
say,
very
"Oh, I
true.
like this newscast." You know what I'm saying? So you got to kind of maybe add to it, like, "Oh, there's a black guy. There's a black guy telling them, all right, let me watch this one for a little bit." You know what I'm saying? Oh, there's a girl who's doing the weather. Let me watch this channel. You know what I'm saying? And that may keep you on that channel. And now you're a channel 4 person. You know what I'm saying? So that's stuff that gets brought into it as well.
It definitely. So just growing up, watching the news and knowing what you know now, what would you say is the biggest misconception from the public's point of view regarding like meteorologists and the things that you do and what it is you cover?
Um, Weatherman's always wrong. That's the running joke.
Yes,
Yo,
it
it's tough.
is.
Oh no, we're right. Good more so at the time than not. So sometimes you got to deal with that. Um, I guess to answer your question more honestly, uh, it was like not really thinking about the scheduling when it came to this job 100%, because there's a lot of times you just want to hang out with family and friends on a weekend, and you can't, like, I can't do that. My schedule doesn't allow me. Like, I'm working Saturdays and Sundays. Some, as most meteorologists, or as I guess would say most people in any industry, kind of got to work your way up to maybe get the, not even so much the schedule, because if you do have like a 9 to 5, you still maybe want to work up your ladder, maybe to get a certain kind of pay or maybe a certain kind of position. So with this industry, another thing that you got to add to all of that is you got to work your way up to maybe get a certain kind of schedule. So that's something I really didn't think about as well when it came into it. So that makes this job a little bit challenging. But yeah, if you're looking to get into the industry, that's something you got to think about. Your scheduling and stuff like that. If that answers your question in a way.
Yeah, definitely, man. I feel like right now I'm in a job where I can enjoy my weekends off, man. I enjoy it, but sometimes it's a sacrifice. I mean, you can't always get what you want, but if you're making good money and the pay is right, and you're in a position where you can provide for your family and you're doing what you enjoy doing, you may have to give those weekends up, man. Sometimes it's not always about being in the most comfortable position. Sometimes it's just about doing what, just it's give and take, It's sacrifices. Exactly.
Like my one of my friends told me he was just like, yeah, but like he was just like, yo, look, you are smiling at work at 4:30 in the morning. Like, how many people can genuinely say they enjoy and are smiling at 4:30 in the morning? And when he put that perspective on it, I was like, oh, I mean, yeah, wow. Like, I genuinely do love what I'm doing. So I guess with that, that's when it comes to sacrifice. Like, all right, right now it's slow for the weekends, as far as that go when it comes to stuff.
Definitely, man. I know in high school you played a little bit of basketball, man. You know what I mean? You were a little bit of a ball player, football and basketball, I believe, right?
Yes.
So what are your thoughts on the NBA and the whole playing tournament right now this year? Do you like it? Do you dislike it? What are your thoughts on that?
Bro, the Knicks are in the playoffs. What's there not to like? Like, I'm loving it right now. Like, growing up, I was a big Kings fan. I was a big C-Web fan, so I would follow that and stuff like that. But I don't know, as I got older, I don't know, the interest to me, basketball for me fell off, for a few reasons. But like now, like last year, like the bubble ball, like when it was playoffs last, I was hooked. Bro. I was like, yo, this is like this is what I used to like be in tuned in. So like this season has been a lot more exciting. I'm watching a lot more basketball now. I don't know, maybe because I'm getting old, as they say, but now I'm back on it. I like it. Like I like watching ball. Like, it entertains me now. I like what I'm seeing. The refs, they seem to have gotten a little soft, as they say. But
yeah, facts.
Other than that, I mean, that's every sport. That's just how it goes. Other than that, like I'm liking it right now. I'm liking it.
I can definitely say the game has gotten soft. That's the only sport I watch. I don't watch football. I'm not a fan of football. I haven't watched football since Colin Kaepernick took a knee and they shitted on him and got him out of the league, man. Since they got Colin Kaepernick out of the league and they treat him like that, man, I can't rock with it, man. The NFL owners are a bunch of slave owners, man. I'm sorry, man. Anybody who likes the NFL, if you like it, that's for you. That's your total judgment. You can have you have the right to
hamburger.
You have the right to like what you want to like, but at the end of the day, I have a right to say what I feel about it, man. They're a bunch of slave owners over there, man. I just can't get into it. But I love the NBA because the players have the freedom of speech and the freedom to express themselves and say what they want to say without the penalization of it all. Like, I feel like the league actually has it back. Mm-hmm. Exactly. So I respect it.
People, yeah.
And I rock with it. Who are your thoughts for the finals? Who do you want to see in the finals? What are your predictions?
All right, so I'll give you my predictions based off what I've watched. And then I'll give you who I would love to see. I would love to see the Knicks. I would love to see the Knicks in Brooklyn if they, get it first round. Just get it up and gunning off the rip. Whoever goes. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna lie to you, man. It's tough. Like, Phoenix or Utah. I would love to see Utah. I would love to see Utah and for Donovan Mitchell on the Knicks. Like, that would be like I would like that. I think that's something different than what I would think of, like Utah and Knicks. That would be a dope series I would like to see. Just because you got Knicks and then you got a 914 cat out there and Donovan Mitchell. I would like to see. I would love to see him in the finals, whoever they played.
Gotcha.
But I could see Phoenix and Brooklyn.
So you see Brooklyn coming out of the East.
Yeah, I can see. Like, if I had to put a little money up, if everybody stays healthy, yeah.
Kyrie
that's always my take. Oh, he did get hurt.
He got elbowed in the face. You ain't see that? He had a whole like face something. I forgot what
Yeah,
they
but
called
he's
it.
gonna be fine for playoffs though.
He probably will. I think he will. I feel you. I'm not mad at that. I'm
Who
a
you like?
Laker
Who you like?
fan. You already know I'm a Laker. I've been a Laker fan. I'm a diehard Laker fan. I'm always be. I bleed purple and go off rip. You know what I'm saying?
Feel you.
Yellow and purple off rip. Yellow and gold, whatever colors you want to call it. Same shit. But I bleed that. So I want to see the Lakers win. I know we got a couple of injuries right now. We got 2 big wins. The couple nights ago we beat Phoenix. So we got 3. I think we beat Phoenix. We beat Denver.
You
And we beat
Knicks.
New York. Exactly.
Yeah.
So those are 3 ones we needed. I would love to see the Lakers versus Brooklyn. If the Lakers happen to lose, I wouldn't mind seeing somebody different. I know the ratings might actually be fluctuated because of that. I don't know how the ratings
Forget the
go.
I feel you on that, but I like forget the ratings. Like
exactly.
I want to see people ball. Like the kids out there putting their heart out.
Yep, I would want to see. I would want to see something different, like a Utah and like you said, the Knicks maybe, or Utah and Brooklyn. I wouldn't mind seeing that. I want to see maybe Miami come back if they can get healthy. And I don't know, Victor Oladipo just went down with an injury, but
I think he's done.
Yeah, I know. I think he is done for the year, man. Shout out to Victor. I like Victor Oladipo, man. If he can stay healthy, he's promising. For me, I feel like he's like one of those Grant Hill, Penny Hardaway type of players. Yeah, so I feel like Victor Oladipo is gonna be like one of those Penny Hardaway, Grant Hill kind of players, where in their career they were like really phenomenal, but then you get that what if factor, like what if they didn't get injured and where would they be? And I feel like unfortunately, T-Mac, one of those, exactly. So I feel like that's what Victor Oladipo is gonna be at the end of the day, man. Which I'm not gonna lie, I respect T-Mac a lot. But I'm glad I don't. It's gonna sound a little crazy. I'm glad
it already
injured,
sounds
man.
crazy.
I'm glad he got injured, man, because he used to give Kobe to work, and that used to get me so mad. So, you know what, man?
Okay.
Things happen for a reason, man.
He said he used to get Kobe to work.
He did, man. Denver Nuggets used to give us the work when Melo was on there, man. It was a couple of teams I used to be like,
those are the times, bro. That's when basketball was at this.
Fucking Brandon Roy. I used to hate playing places at that time, bro. There's certain teams and certain players. I'd be like, I do not want to see them.
He got hurt too, right? He was having injury issues.
Yeah, Brandon Roy was another one. Exactly. It's those kind of players and those teams. I used to love. I always been a fan of basketball. I never really followed football too much, so it wasn't really hard for me to like fall out of love with it, but for a while there, I was a 49er fan for a minute. I'm not gonna lie. I used to rock with the 49ers. Okay. When Colin Kaepernick was playing and we won the Super Bowl and we played against the Ravens, I was rocking with him, man. I got a Colin Kaepernick jersey.
When you lost the Super Bowl, remember?
We did. We lost. Yeah, they cheated us, but we lost.
Oh yeah, because the lights went out. I remember that.
Yeah, the lights went out. We had a momentum, and then I don't know what happened. He didn't run no kind of play action at the end of the game when he ran play action all year. It was kind of, it was a little crazy, but it is what it is. We ain't gonna get on that. We're gonna stay on track, man. But I hope to see
get that ring. That's why.
Facts. I'm hoping to see a lot of good basketball coming up. I'm excited about the bubble. I hope they keep that long term. I think it makes for more competitive basketball at the end of the day. Who would you say is your season MVP? Like, who would you want to see to get the MVP this year? Because there's a lot of great candidates. We got Joel Embiid.
I mean, all right, like for me, it's either him or Jokic. Mm-hmm. I see his name.
Yep.
I'm like, so when it comes to like football, I'm just bigger on defensive players. I play defense. That's just what I'm on. When it comes to basketball, like if it's like neck and neck, the big man to me gets the nod. And I just think it's easy to throw it to a guard or a forward anytime. Like, but I just think with them doing it, there's not a lot of big men in the game, who really cook like that. Not to take away from Curry or Russ or Harden. When did he? I feel like he fell out after he got hurt. Right?
James Harden, he got hurt. I feel like Paul should be in a conversation.
That was what I was gonna say too. I think that if it's not one of the two big men, I think Chris Paul. They the first place team, right? Second place team.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I mean, it's hard to not give it to them.
Yeah, it's a lot of momentum when it comes to basketball. It's a lot of like situation, scenario kind of ball that comes into basketball. So I feel like he just happened to come onto a team where they just gel really good. Everybody kind of knew their position, and he came in and pretty much fit the mold and was like the the head spear for the
general.
Team. So exactly, the general for them, man. I feel like he's a general on any team you come across, man. He's like one of those guys. He's like a John Stockton, like a real, a Magic Johnson. He's like a real point guard that's gonna make your team better. No matter what team he goes to, man. I'm mad he didn't get to go to the Lakers and they vetoed that trade.
That's crazy. Just to think what's happening now.
yeah, man. Another bullshit moment for the NBA. But it is what it is, man. We come across those times and those moments, man. What is your so for meteorologist Jonathan Cubit? What is your 5-year goal? Like, what do you want to see yourself in 5 years? What do you want to have accomplished in 5 years?
I would love to. So I always wanted to have a little DJ business,
Mhm.
on the side, or it's just like I'm teaching younger people, not even young, but those who want to learn how to DJ, teach them how to DJ. And then, if I'm getting a bunch of gigs, throw them out on gigs. That's my weekend thing. And I just want to be able to do the weather, Monday through Friday kind of thing. That's like the goal. If I can make that happen in the next 5 years, ultimately either. So I hate the winter. Cold is trash. So if I have to stay in this kind of climate, I would love to do it closer to home at a news station. Otherwise, I'm open to heading down, to somewhere where it's a little more warm, where I can play golf at least 8, 9
Florida,
months. Florida's not a bad option, you know what I'm saying? Atlanta's a
Cali.
good
That's my
one,
goal.
or Cali, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, I just want to play some golf, you know what I mean? That's it. So
That was one of the notes I had, man, as far as playing golf, man. What kind of got you into that, man? Being that we just touching that a little bit. What got you into playing golf?
shout out to Delzio. He was our gym teacher when we were in
Hmm.
high school. And
Yep.
my man, my brother Rudolph, it was me and him. He was harassing us. But he made a great point. He says, look, y'all play basketball and football now, but like when you're 40, 50, 60, you're not really going to be doing that or as much as you'd want to. Golf you can do till you're like 70, 80. When I go to the range, the man next to me is like an 85-year-old sitting with his like 80-year-old wife, and they both just doing it. I'm just like, yo, he's right. Like it's a good game to really invest in. Like if you're someone who's athletic and likes sports, yo, that tennis, bowling, you know what I'm saying? Those they whack now, but it's like one of those a lot of like friends who are athletes, they wish they had played baseball, but baseball wasn't the it sport. If they had played baseball, then they would be elite, making hundreds of millions playing baseball, but that's not the it sport. Um,
Hmm.
Golf is I kind of look at like golf or tennis of them like that, but when you want to be active and do something, that's a good one, swimming and stuff like that. But that's what got me into it. When COVID hit, uh, it was one of the things that you could actually go out and do. Like, oh, this is open because you're isolated. It's just you. Golf is like, and then when you go to golf courses, it's just open. It's quiet. It's mentally, you're at peace for a little bit. So
Hmm.
it mentally, it's an awesome game. Like your mental strength, it's there. As good as you do sports and all that stuff for physical, golf is very good for mental. It's like one of the hardest sports, but it just like it really helps you focus and repetition and stuff like that. But yeah, that's really what it was, and it's a lot cheaper up here to play. So
Okay, okay. I got a couple of friends that play golf, and they've been trying to get me to play golf for a long time. I think it's something I'm gonna actually try to do, man. I think I'll be all right at it, man. I think
yo,
I'll
it's
be
on the
okay.
rise. You see on social and TikTok, yo, golf is yo in 5 years. I'm guaranteed, yo, golf is gonna be up. It's not gonna ever really be as popular as basketball. Don't get me
Hmm.
wrong, but yo, you're
Yeah,
gonna see a lot of me and
I
you
enjoy
out there
watching
on
it.
the course. Yeah, see,
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Like, and it's dope. Like, I love going out there with my tie-dye shirt and basketball shorts and like, cooking these old heads who've been playing on it. Like, yo,
fam.
it's fun, bro. Like, it's fun. I love golf.
Yo, listen. If you can go out there and play golf, man, you gotta put on a button up like you gotta put on one of those button ups, and you gotta put on a polo top, and you gotta put on some khaki pants. You can't go out there in basketball shorts trying to hit the ball. Come on, man, you making us look crazy. All right. You
So
might as well have
glad.
fried chicken on. You might as well have fried chicken out there. Come on, man.
No, so look. Stay with me. Stay with me. This is the way I look at it. So when we was playing ball back in the day, and you see the little white boy who ain't even really dressed right, and y'all like, damn, we got to pick him. But then he's coming out, he hits one shot. When yo, 3, 4 shots later, he's cooking. Yo, that's
Hmm.
me. You know what I'm saying? Hey, wait, yo, we on the green. I'm hitting one putt. Yo, that's how it is, bro. I like to be comfortable. I got to be cute. You
Mm,
know what I mean? So it's a good. It's
I
a good.
respect it. I respect it, man. That's crazy. He said y'all here in basketball shorts hitting on the green, man. That sounds crazy. I never heard of that before. Now that's dope. But I mean, the most important thing is you're out there having fun. You're doing something productive, man, and it's something you enjoy, especially in this time right now where, like you said, a lot of things are restricted. We can't do a lot.
Yeah,
We can't play basketball indoors because of COVID and the chances of spreading something. So you get a chance to go outdoors and do something like play golf, man. I think it's important to just, keep the mental going, man. Keep that
yeah.
mental strong and staying focused on something that you enjoy doing. So I respect it, man. I'll be out there next year. We gonna play, man. Me and you.
Man. I got you, man. I'm gonna show you.
I'm gonna take your money.
Yeah,
You know what I
right.
mean? I'll take you. I'm a competitive guy, man. So I gotta take, you know what I mean? You show me the money, I'm out there, man.
You better
I don't care if
practice
I never
now,
played
bro.
before. I'm gonna get out there, man, for sure. I'm gonna get out there and play, man. Is there anything you feel like we didn't get a chance to touch on? I know we touched on a lot of different topics today, man. We spoke on a lot of different things. Is there anything you feel like we didn't touch on that you want to touch on?
I don't know. I think we really, hit the head just bringing out 914 and all the different diversity that's coming out of that way. Oh, shout out to the EYL, Troy and Rashad.
On your
The
leisure, that's a
other, yeah,
fact. I
earlier
always,
another
yeah,
914. They're doing it big.
facts.
That's
Yeah, they got a
next level.
billboard in New York City and everything right
Yeah,
now, man. You see them out there representing, man. That's
100%.
incredible, man. If you
Yeah,
gotta look at a milestone or somebody that you would want to emulate
yeah,
or a milestone you want to pass, they are it right now for the 914. I feel like
yeah,
they are the
yeah,
biggest thing smoking out of the 914, man. Shout out to those guys, man. Troy and
100%.
Rashad, shout out to them. That's huge accomplishment, man. Much respect to them. I follow them on mine. I follow the Market Mondays as far as just staying in tune and trying to find out what stocks to get into. That's very important for people who are not in the stocks, man. Put your money into somewhere. I mean, if you got into a savings account, take some of that money out of your savings account and put that in the stock, because the stock market is going to continue to move. And 30, 40 years from now, you're going to want to have a retirement plan or something to fall back on. And stock is definitely something that you can fall back on. If you're buying Nike sneakers, buy Nike stock. Buy Nike stock. If you have a Verizon cell phone, buy Verizon stock. It just makes perfect sense. You're already buying these things. Get into the stock and make money from it. Have it sitting there.
That's it, man. Invest, do your research and all that goodness. But
Yeah,
yeah, man,
exactly. Yeah, definitely do your research.
it's good to see, everyone, from 914, doing it. Then people from the 914, they could see that sometimes it could be hard for someone who doesn't see much happening in their community or their backyard. But it's good, when you do see it, it does help. And you got people that you can reach out to as well, and have a little bit of a instruction manual on maybe how to go about things. So, and then I like your little platform you got going. Not little, it's gonna be big. You know what I'm saying?
Much appreciated, man. He said
Man, so
little. He said he ain't do that just to me though. He said a couple of joints is little. I heard him say that a couple of times. Like, damn, he out here downplaying the folks, man. They were out here working hard. He just calling all their platforms
listen,
little.
only because the text you sent me before the show. Are you nervous?
I was
Like,
gonna
come
say that.
on,
Listen,
bro.
I wasn't guessing to know what happened earlier, man. I texted my guy Q, man. I said, "Are you nervous to join the No Script podcast?" He said, "Hi, I'm on TV every day, man. This little shitty ass show ain't nothing for me."
I ain't say all that.
Said,
I did not say all that. But you my man, so like I'm not gonna be nervous talking to you. We just having convo. You know what I mean? That's the main reason. Like, what are you talking about nervous? Like, bro, we known each other. Like,
yeah, that's mad funny. I appreciate you coming out and joining No Script platform. It's always a pleasure to have different people. It was definitely a pleasure to have you. So, last question. This is the last final question.
yeah.
Who is somebody that you think would be a great guest to join the No Scripts podcast platform in the future?
Jeez.
It could be somebody from the 914. It could be somebody that you just think like, yo, I would love to see them on there, just know their story, understand how they came up and do it and do it as they do.
Jeez,
You gave me a couple of names. You gave me Jonathan Mitchell, Sean Kirkpatrick. That's two people I'm gonna reach out to for sure.
I mean, yeah, I would love to hear those. I'm actually in a group chat with his dad, with Donovan Mitchell's pops. Yeah,
That's
like
fire.
yeah, like he's like cool. He's a cool dude. I mean, I don't know. I could
Damn.
talk to him and then maybe plug maybe. But man, I don't know. That's a tough one. I would really like to see they don't really gotta be famous, man. I mean,
Now, don't gotta be famous. Just somebody you want to hear their story. Like I want to know how it is they got into a position and what they do. I do my research. I definitely find out how they got into their space and just try to get that research done. So whoever it is you think that would be a good guest on here that you want to know more about.
I don't have one off the top of my head, bro. I mean, there's definitely a couple people from like our neck of the woods that I would like to see. Did
Who's that?
you like? But I feel like I can just always hit him up and ask him. But like Jossie, like Shorts, like I really enjoy his music. I would like to see. I guess whatever I don't know about him, like how he grinded and got where he is with his music. He's an interesting story. I guess I'm interested that I don't know, but I know that's hard. I feel like I could just hit him up like, Josh, what's good? I want, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know, but it would be different if you tell it. So let me not say that. I would like to see him on your show. I would like to see how, just because I know him and I'm like, yo, I don't know his full story. So I would like to see him. Definitely, Donovan Mitchell, just to see where he is, how where he is versus, where he came from. Like he came, from like
Mhm.
Elmsport and like from our
Mhm.
part of 914. So I would
Facts.
definitely love to see him on the show, as well.
Dope, dope. Okay, for sure. I appreciate that, man. I'm gonna. Those are two names and two people that. Well, Jossie for sure. I thought about getting on the platform, but Donovan Mitchell, somebody like again. I'll try and reach out to him in the future and see if he would enjoy joining the platform. I think that would be a dope conversation because again, I'll definitely make sure I do my due diligence and just doing my research and finding out as much information I may not know about him,
Yeah,
just to find out, how he got to where he is now, and just see his mental space for sure. That's important to know about people's mental because once you understand that, you realize, hey, I'm not that far off from you. You know what I mean? Like I can do
right.
exactly what it is you're doing with if I get into your mindset and your mindset and mind state of where you are. So that's very important. You know what I mean?
Definitely him. Because also me too, like I'm really into geography. Like that was my minor. Like I'm just like, yo, how is he doing in Utah? Like that's another part of the country that are not like what are we like
Mm,
outside of Utah Jazz, or
yep.
if you're into skiing, like
High
are we
atmosphere.
yeah, like what is in Utah? Like that's other stuff that I would want to know. Like I'm interested in. Like and that's just me personally. Like different like when I meet somebody who's from like X, Y, or yo, I want to talk to them for like how is it and stuff like that. So that part of his story I would be very interested in as well.
For sure, man. For the people at home that's just that's finishing up, just tuning in here, how can they get in touch with you personally, man? Hit them, give them your social media.
Oh, you definitely can catch you on Twitter, Cubit, CUBITWX, Weatherman Q on Instagram. That's really it. Or Jonathan Cubit. Just Google me, you'll find me there. Facebook. My meteorologist Jonathan Cubit on Facebook. You can definitely follow that page. I mean, do you really need to know the weather in Buffalo if you're not from Buffalo watching this?
they
But
they may just want to reach out to you personally. They may be attracted to your energy, man. They just want to reach out to you, man. A
but
couple
yeah,
young
yeah, for
ladies or
real.
something. Yeah, you
100%.
never
If y'all
know,
ever have
man.
any questions or something, like if you guys are into the TV industry or just want to know about weather, like I tell people on TV, any weather related questions, is you can always hit me on Twitter. You can always hit me on my Facebook or my Instagram. I ain't one of them bougie people. Like, yo, yeah, I have a blue check, but kids, you know what I'm saying? Until that blue check can start
Mhm.
bring me in some real checks, like I don't care about the blue check on Instagram and Twitter. Like, you know what I'm
Totally
saying? Like
understood.
I answer, DMs and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like that's
For
it.
sure, man. Definitely, man. I want to say thank you for joining the platform. Definitely appreciate you for being a part of the No Script community, man. And hopefully we'll be able to have more conversations on the platform moving forward. Just talking about maybe some different things that may be coming along your way, man. I
Oh
thank
yeah.
you for blessing the platform. And for all of those who have been tuning in, man, definitely make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Feel free to leave a comment for my man Jonathan Cubit if you have any questions for him on the platform as well. And hit that again, hit that subscribe button and that bell for notifications as well, man. I thank y'all for coming out and rocking with me for another
Thank
episode of
you.
the No
Thank
Script
you.
Podcast. Of
Appreciate
course,
it.
man.
Thank you for having
It,
me. I appreciate it.
it
100%.
was my pleasure, man. I learned a lot, man. I feel like I learned a lot as far as just what it is you do and where you got to. For sure, I'm serious, man. I feel like this was an important conversation, and people will take a lot from it.
Yeah, man. I hope y'all learned something, Weather is not easy. So-
Yo, man.
but
No
it's
Script
fun.
Podcast. Keir Scott, man. We are signing out. Thank you guys for joining us. We appreciate it.